Tonight's invocation is by Pastor Aaron Cobbs of Spiritual Church of Christ.
Good evening. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we gather today as servants of this community, asking for your presence and guidance. Grant our mayor, city manager, council member, and staff wisdom, discernment, and humility to lead with integrity, balancing diverse interests and seeking what truly benefits all citizens. Father, help them to listen with open heart, speak with respect, and find common ground even amidst disagreement. May their discussion be productive, fair, and focused on justice, order, and prosperity for our city. Bless our community, protect our first responders, and may all that is done in this chamber bring honor and good to our city. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could we have a roll call, please, Megan?
Absolutely. Jeff Arnold.
Here.
Tom Capps.
Here.
Dave Flack.
Here.
Mary Hosley. Here. Eddie Polk.
Here.
Letitia Wilkins. Annie Brown.
Thank you.
I move to excuse Councilwoman Wilkins.
Support.
All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Councilwoman Wilkins is excused for personal reasons. Before we move on, I wanted to let you know that we adopted some new rules and procedures at our special meeting that was held at 5 o'clock, and those will be posted on our website. So please bear with us as we work with some of these new changes. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda. Second.
All in favor?
Madam Mayor? So is the discussion, the public comment at 5 minutes as presented in the
Yes.
agenda, or?
5.
Okay.
Is there, okay, any more discussion? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. It's now time for community update.
Thank you, Mayor. We do have the oath of office to be given to Officer Rex Hayner, the newest addition to the South Haven Police Department.
You can read it. Rex has just started his second phase of field training. He came to us from South Haven Area Emergency Services. He was there 10 years? Full-time 5, 15. There you go. He is the first police recruit that South Haven has put through a police academy. He did 18 weeks at the Grand Valley State University Police Academy. We're excited to get him in our building and really teach him what law enforcement is about. So, Megan, can you give him his oath?
Okay. As a law enforcement officer with the South Haven Police Department, my fundamental duty is to serve the residents and visitors of South Haven with integrity, fairness, and professionalism. I pledge to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent from harm, deception, and injustice, and to uphold the constitutional rights of all people, ensuring liberty, equality, and justice for all. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to my fellow officers and to the community. I will maintain calm and courage in the face of danger, scorn, or criticism. I will exercise self-restraint and remain ever mindful of the welfare, dignity, and the rights of others. I will be honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life, always obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of the South Haven Police Department. I will hold in confidence any information of a sensitive nature unless disclosure is necessary for the proper performance of my duties. I will never engage in corruption, abuse of authority, or any action that might discredit my badge, my department, or my profession. I will not tolerate such behavior in others and will speak out when integrity is threatened. I will work in partnership with other law enforcement agencies, city departments, and community organizations to uphold justice and foster truth. I will continually strive to increase my knowledge, skills, and effectiveness as a law enforcement professional, knowing that I alone am responsible for maintaining the highest standard of performance. I dedicate myself, before God, my fellow officers, and the people of South Haven, to the noble calling of public service through law enforcement. As a member of the law enforcement profession, having read this code of ethics, I fully understand it and do solemnly swear and affirm, with no mental reservation, to abide by it in both my official and private life to the best of my ability, so help me God. I do.
Rex's wife is here to put his pin on. Rex's wife, Lola.
Congratulations. We're so glad that you're on our team. Thank you.
And we know he had a good education because he went to South Haven Public Schools.
Woo! There you go. Say no more. Moving on, it is now time for public comment for items on the agenda, excluding items scheduled for public hearing, and you have up to 5 minutes. If there are no comments, please step to the microphone.
Hello,
Hello.
my name is Nick Yetter. I own the residence at 288 Park Avenue. I'm here to speak against this item number 13, to amend the zoning map by rezoning the property commonly known as 285 Black River Street from R1B single family to R2 single and two family residential. I spoke at the city planning meeting a while back when this was brought up to them. I'm not clear on how many parcels the property is currently. Does anybody know? Is it just one?
We can't answer questions. This is your time to talk.
All right. So I spoke against it before, to oppose the split of the construction. I live at 288. I'm right above the property. There's maybe myself and the neighbors on both sides of me that have the best view over the top of it. The same owner also owns the land on the other side of the street on the river, which I believe is important. So I think it raises significant concerns about parking and traffic down there. There's parking spots all along the street. I don't know where the entryway to the proposed condos or duplexes or whatever they would be, but clearly would have to give up parking. If you come around the corner where Black River Street turns into Wells, there's no sidewalks there. There's no parking there. I think that you're going to force parking further up in there. I don't know, we have two officers here, but it's just going to make it that much more difficult for them to monitor, particularly during all the busy weekends that we have. It's already a super congested area. There's a lot of flooding down there. The main issue is the precedent that I think that would be created if you take the R1B single-family residential and allow them to do that. What's stopping any other property that's zoned the same way, mine included? I have an empty lot next to me that's zoned the same way. Everybody could just start having their property rezoned and put condos on it for profit. So I also think that the infrastructure down there is not equipped for the increased density. I know that there's a gentleman here speaking against that as well. There's also some mechanical pumps located on Black River, so as a resident down there, there's frequently unpleasant odors that come from those pumps already. I'm unclear on what would happen to that equipment. I just think that the main thing before, I think today there's no actual rezoning that's honored, but this is the second meeting of this sort that I've been to, so I'm not even sure where the final say stops. But that I just think that the shift from R1B to R2 has real safety, infrastructure, quality of life implications. And until clear and comprehensive plans are presented addressing access, parking, pedestrian safety, and infrastructure impacts, I strongly oppose this rezoning. I don't think I have anything else. I think that's pretty concise.
Okay,
So, all right,
thank you. Any other public comments? If not, we're moving on. to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve items A through I?
I move to approve consent agenda items A through I.
Second.
Any discussion? Moving on. Kate, Megan, gosh, it's like I've been in a snow blizzard for weeks. Could we have a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Arnold?
Yes.
Capps?
Yes.
Flack?
Yes.
Hasley?
Yes.
Polk?
Yes.
And Brown.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to new business, the city council will be asked to consider approval of the following special event applications. Special event 2025-50, South Haven Art Fair, to be held on July 2nd through July 5th, 2026 in Stanley Johnson Park. B, special event 2025-51, South Haven Steelheaders Pro-Am Tournament, to be held on May 15th through the 17th, 2026 at the Southside Municipal Marina. C, special event 2026-01, Worship on the Riverwalk 2026, to be held each Sunday beginning July 12th through July 26th at Riverfront Park from 7 to 8:15 p.m. And D, special event 2026-02, Salute to Veterans, to be held on Saturday, August 15th at noon in South Haven Harbor. Carrie, would you like to speak about your event? I am ready for some summer events, that's for sure.
I'm Carrie Hagee. I'm the director of the South Haven Center for the Arts. We produce the South Haven Art Fair. Our application requests the use of the park from July 2nd to July 5th, but our event is just the 4th and the 5th, and those 2 other days are just set up. We're the only juried art fair in the Stanley Johnson Park, so we are accepting applications now, and we will select 120 artists to participate. Other artists will sit on that jury and then select those artists. And this is, I can't remember off the top of it, the 67th or something like that. South Haven Art Fair, it's important to the whole mission of the South Haven Center for the Arts and an income generator for us and a part of our mission. And we also offer free programming for families the whole time. We do art projects on the big family art tent, and then we have 4 other nonprofits that usually come. This is the first time actually that I'll be having that art fair directly on July 4th. So I've already started to talk to Michelle about any special plans that we need, but we're excited.
Good, we're excited too.
Question.
Thank you. Yeah.
Jeff has
Carrie,
a question.
for someone that doesn't know, could you
Yeah.
explain what a juried art fair means?
Yeah, so that means the artists submit from all over the country, actually. We usually have about a third are Michigan artists, and then they come from all over the country. They submit 4 images of their work and also an image of their booth, and they're selected in different categories. So we have 13 different categories, from photography, painting, printmaking, and we have and ceramics and jewelry and a diversity of artists, so that it's not all jewelers or all painters. It's spread out, and they give us an artist statement and their work, and then that's selected to have a high quality art fair. Is the point.
So we know it's not mass-produced.
Yeah, we do. It's not supposed to be mass-produced. It has to be individually made, and the artist has to be on site. So you can't make the work and then have your wife or cousin there selling it. You have to be there so that guests can come and talk to the artists themselves. Yeah.
Any other questions? Thanks, Gary.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate everything you do.
I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
Is there a motion to approve the special events?
I would move to approve special event 2025-50, South Haven Art Fair, as read by the mayor. Special event 2025-51, South Haven Steelheaders Pro-Am Tournament, as read by the mayor. Special event 2026-01, Worship on the River 2026, as read by the mayor. And finally, special event 2026-02, Salute to Veterans, as read by the mayor.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor say yes.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Next, the city council will be asked to approve 1-year commercial use license agreements for the following entities: My Barefoot Wedding, Bend Yoga, Sincerely K and J, and Easy Beach Chairs and Cabanas. Kate.
Thank you, Mayor. We have been working with these separate vendors for over a couple of years. This will be the second year for Easy Beach Chairs and Cabanas. We typically do a one-year commercial license vending agreement, which allows these individual vendors to operate on certain areas of certain beaches for a certain purpose for a certain amount of time. So we've kind of laid that all out. There is an annual license fee for the weddings. Those are per occurrence. So we've set this up. It's been a good relationship between the city staff and these vendors, and it seems to be working out well.
Thank you. Any questions? Is there a motion to approve these items for the license agreement?
I would move to approve a one-year commercial use license agreement for the following entities: My Barefoot Wedding, Bend Yoga, Sincerely K&J, and Easy Beach Chairs and Cabanas.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? These license agreements are approved. Next, the City Council will be asked to consider a donation for an acknowledgement sign for Avery Park. Kate.
Thank you, Mayor. The city was approached by Ruth and Ron Weiser that live adjacent to the Avery Park over on the north side. They have been maintaining the park and assisting with its landscaping for over a decade over 25 years. They were asking to have an acknowledgement sign that they would have made that would be similar to the existing signage, and then the new acknowledgement sign would be affixed to the Avery Park sign. They would just appreciate the acknowledgement of their hard work over the last 25 years. And of course, this is adjacent to their backyard, so it kind of looks the same, but it is something they've taken a lot of pride in, and they would hope that the city would accept their acknowledgement sign.
Thank you. This is a very generous donation, and we're very grateful for it. Is there a motion to consider the donation for the sign?
Mayor, I motion to approve the donation for acknowledgement sign, for Avery Park.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? The motion passes. Thank you. Thank you to the Weisers. Next, the City Council will be asked to consider approval of Resolution 2026-04, a resolution to authorize issuance of downtown development and refunding bonds. Kate.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. So the DDA has asked for bonding for their project up to $2 million for ice rink improvements. As we know, we have a very well-received ice rink that takes a lot of time and effort to construct each fall, and a lot of time and effort to deconstruct each spring. These improvements are looking to sink into new concrete the chilling elements so that we do not have to build such a large gravel base as well as new coils every year. So this would be a savings, not just in material costs, but in just the staff time to make this up. So the DDA is looking to have this bonding done, and so this is a DDA bonding resolution and refunding. So what's going on here is that there would be bonding, as we passed a notice of intent to bond back in December. And what this has done is this has given time for people to understand what is going on. These are bonding documents that would be up to $2 million along with some costs, as well as refunding existing bonds that are with the DDA. Those existing bonds that are being refunded would be, I think, up a savings up to $24,000 or $26,000. So there's a cost savings there to the city, and then of course we have less carrying costs and less interest to be paid through one bond.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2026-04?
I motion to approve Resolution 2026-04 for the DDA and refunding of bonds.
Support.
Any discussion?
Kate, I just want to thank you for sharing the bond schedule.
Sure.
And it's nice we are saving some money on the buybacks as well. And the project should come in well under the total value of the bonds.
That is correct.
And actually, the new bonds that we've issued to replace the old ones have a quicker maturity date, so it's
Yes,
all
they
good,
do.
so thank you.
Well, thank you very much for saying that. I do want to just make sure that people understand that these bonds will be paid back by tax increment revenue coming from the DDA.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Could we ever, go ahead.
Just briefly, I know people will ask, when would this project start? Will it affect the farmer's market and things like that?
Very good question. We are trying to thread the needle. This is a four-season pavilion, so the idea is that as soon as we can get the ice rink taken off, we would begin removals immediately. The plan is to have the project wrapped up before the majority of summer. There may be a couple weeks where the farmer's market may be in Dyckman Park, but the plan is to get this done as soon as possible, so it will be wrapped up before, I think, June 30th. I would want to say it's June 15th, but I can't remember exactly. But the idea is to have a very accelerated schedule and to get this done as soon as possible.
Any other questions? Could we have a roll call, please?
Of course. Capps?
Yes.
Flack?
Yes.
Hasley?
Yes.
Polk?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
And Brown.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, number 13, the city council will be asked to consider a motion to introduce an ordinance to amend the City of South Haven zoning map by rezoning the property commonly known as 285 Black River Street from R1B Single Family Residential to R2 Single and 2 Family Residential. Kate.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll give a brief introduction as Kelly Doucette is coming up here to give more background. This is a motion to introduce an ordinance to amend the City of South Haven zoning map. As we do any kind of amendments to the zoning map, we do have to do this via ordinance, and this would be conversion of an R1B single family, the lot, and to the question that was asked earlier, I believe there's 3 lots here that are that has one tax ID that will be converting, if approved, an R1B single family residential to R2 single and 2 family residential. Kelly?
Thank you very much. Sorry about that. There is actually one lot at this time at 285 Black River Street. This is a request from the King Company. It may have been more than one lot at one time. It's now a single tax ID. It's approximately 3/4 of an acre, and this application was reviewed by the Planning Commission at the December 4th meeting. And at this meeting, there was substantial discussion about the parcel, whether or not it was buildable, whether it was in the floodplain, how to mitigate potential stormwater erosion, other impacts of potential development. Ultimately, there is no proposed development at this time, and that's okay, because the application in front of us right now is a rezoning application. A site plan is not required, but these are all factors that would be considered with a site plan application. So the Planning Commission ultimately decided we were a little bit ahead of it ourselves with a lot of the conversation about stormwater management and engineering, and they did recommend council approval of the rezoning. So the R2 zoning district allows similar uses to the R1B district. It does allow 2-family dwelling units by right, and it allows multifamily dwelling units by special land use. And it is my understanding at this time that King Company is contemplating a condominium development that would be similar to the neighboring development to the south. But like I said, we have not seen a site plan yet.
Okay. Let's have a motion, and then after we get a motion, we can have discussion with council members. Is there a motion to approve this?
Madam Mayor, I believe it would be a motion to introduce it for its first reading.
Oh, a motion to introduce this for first reading. Thank you.
In that case, yes, I motion to introduce the rezoning of 285 Black River Street for its first reading.
Thank
Support.
you. Okay. Time for discussion.
He moved.
Dave?
I moved, yes, I did move. Yeah, so I love the opportunity that it could bring to have some missing middle housing, which was a major part of their presentation throughout. Now, how that manifests, we'll see, but it was encouraging to see that, and I hope that that would come through. I do have a lot of trust in the King Company because I've seen the work they've done around this town in the past, so I have confidence in the company that currently owns this land and is planning to do something with it. The two things that stuck out for me that concerned me, that's actually brought up in the comments earlier, were the floodplain and the impervious surfaces of the area, because there is a big slope coming around Black River. You've got the ridge coming down there with the three homes on the other side on Park Street. So my concern was just that, the flood waters coming through the drainage, and how is that going to be managed? So the discussions that I've had with staff indicate that would all be part of a site plan. And so I wasn't clear on that, Kelly, so I thought I'd maybe ask, is there rigor in that process that would calm our fears around, not having issues related to a floodplain or related to runoff issues or other things that could impact nearby neighbors?
Sure. There is a site plan review process. There are certain things that have to be submitted on a site plan that would come in front of the Planning Commission. There are sections of the zoning ordinance, Section 2102, that deals with specifically with stormwater runoff. There is a chapter that deals with parking and loading. I heard concerns about parking. So yes, there is rigor in the site plan review process. And then certainly if some development were to be proposed that was by right and didn't require site plan review, there is still permitting required, and zoning permits would still be required that would be reviewed by zoning, that would be reviewed by the engineering office, and building permits that would be required. So I would say, yes, I believe there's rigor in the review process.
Thank you. And is there any chance that a 35% impervious surface metric, which I think is the R2 standard now, going from 30 to 35, that could trigger an event that is unforeseen as we go through this, or is that unlikely to happen and it would be handled via normal course through the process you just mentioned?
So what type of event are you thinking? So lot coverage is what you're talking about, right? 35%
Thank you.
lot
coverage moving to 35%. Thank you for that. Yeah. That 5% shift, we don't know what it would do in terms of adding to an issue for drainage or runoff or another type thing on that property.
So are you asking about the changes from the previous zoning ordinance to the current zoning ordinance?
Could the footprint and the way that downspouts are positioned or things like that have an adverse effect downstream, literally, on neighbors in this property?
I would anticipate that is such a small percentage that I wouldn't anticipate there being a drastic impact, but I would leave that to the engineers
I agree.
at final review.
I agree.
Thank you.
Thanks.
5% is
Kelly?
usually not visible to the naked eye.
The only reason I asked the question is because it is a low, I don't know if it's a floodplain or not, honestly. There have been different, but it's low, and that's why I asked the question. Could it?
Sure. That's fair.
I'm moving to Mary because she seconded it.
Thank you. During the Planning Commission, I think there was a lot of emphasis on reliance on the King Company. I just urge everyone to realize that once it's rezoned, if it's sold, it's whoever has it. And once it's rezoned, they can do whatever's allowed. And that brings me to by right. So when there are not site plans, and because driveways and parking lots can be right up to property lines, that causes a concern that I've heard from residents throughout our community, because the planning department does not review unless there's site plans, does not review for what stormwater runoff. And I would be concerned with that area being low, and if there is not a site plan, that things could get through that could affect the neighbors, whereas especially with, even though 5% doesn't seem like a lot, it could be a lot. And in that lot coverage of 35% under R2, that does not include parking, et cetera. Now, the new ordinance does have a green coverage minimum, but it's still with the low lying and the lack of clarity of whether that is floodplain or not. All our documents indicate it is. That I appreciate the concerns of the neighbors. There were two who spoke at the Planning Commission and one again today. They did also write into the Planning Commission. And in the approval process, the Planning Commission did not go through every single factor and provide facts to support it or not, relying on, because it confirmed with, I have the notes, because it meets the conditions. I would encourage the city council to consider whether the recommendation should be further supported with a factual support of all of the elements to support the rezoning, to ensure that the residents of the neighboring property are better assured with compliance with our zoning ordinance. And so it is introduced today, but we do have the opportunity to say, out of transparency, out of respect for our neighboring community, neighboring property owners, that we would like to see a more fully explained reasoning for the rezoning. And one reason behind that is because there was a lot of emphasis on the current owner and also in the site plan review, and there may not be a site plan review. So I am trying to be proactive while also being pro-development. I'm not saying do not grant it. I am saying let's have a better factually supported analysis for us to better appreciate the pluses and minuses and maybe confirmation of floodplain. And also the property line during the presentation, there was an indication that the property owner owned a fair amount of the hill, and it would be nice to, owned a small portion of the hill, and that was used for supportive justification of supporting the property, because I know there was a concern raised during Planning Commission, I don't think I heard it tonight, with regard to the integrity of that steep slope west of the property. So thank you.
Eddie? I'm
Well,
sorry, Councilman Polk.
Pardon me?
Councilman Polk, sorry.
I'm actually in agreement, excuse me, with Mary, what she said, and also with Dave as well. Kelly, I think we put you in an uncomfortable position to ask you to respond to things that basically should be dealt with by engineers, right? And that's not fair to you, but I appreciate your response. I want to be sure that we take in consideration any rezoning is done in a manner that it addresses the concerns of the residents. I think we need to keep that in the forefront. So whatever we decide, rezoning or whatever, whatever steps to take. Why didn't they, what happened I'm wondering what happened at the Planning Commission, what direction were residents, were they given the confidence that, yeah, the rezoning would also take care of your concerns, or what? Or you need not have a concern with the rezoning? Did we do a good justification of that? Maybe that's not fair to you, but I'm curious, Marty.
Right. Ultimately, I would say at the Planning Commission meeting, there wasn't direct engagement with the residents. There was a public hearing, and the comments were heard, and then the final vote was to recommend approval of the rezoning application after substantial discussion.
Okay. I still think we need more discussion on this, but thank you.
Fair enough.
Kelly, did you have any comments after Mary's comments?
The only thing that I would say is that for single and two-family dwellings, it is true that site plan review by the Planning Commission is not required. and that stormwater calculations are not required, but there is still a staff review process through zoning and through engineering to be sure that, to the extent possible, stormwater is not being diverted onto neighboring properties. So we are sending those applications to the city engineer for review.
Okay, thank you. Tom.
Madam Mayor,
I'm letting Tom speak.
could I just ask for her comment?
Let's start with Tom first. I'll come back to you.
Just a couple. I happen to have attended or watched that meeting. They did have concerns about the floodplain. I think they addressed that they would not ask for that until they had a site plan. There was not much reason to get one in the expense of doing that. So they're waiting for that. I think I'm correct in that.
There was some discussion of the floodplain, and the applicant indicated he was potentially seeking removal of the property from the floodplain. So,
Right. But no sense in asking for that until it was rezoned.
current floodplain maps would indicate that a portion of the property is in the floodplain, but not the entire property.
Okay.
But we won't know for sure whether or not he is successful with an application to FEMA. There's a lot in the air right now with the floodplain designation, so I don't want to make any assumptions.
So the question would be then, is he correct in waiting for that until something changed, or should we have that before there's any change?
Well, I think it's possible that they would wait for a decision on that designation before submitting a site plan.
Okay.
But I believe an application for a rezoning is still appropriate.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. We're going to Mary now?
No, or
Okay.
did you have something?
My comments are quick and simple. This is just an introductory phase. Kelly described the process that will begin if this introduction clears. I believe that the city staff will do due diligence, and the planning commission will review it. So I'm comfortable moving this forward, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to vote for it. You know, we got to see what comes out of it. Those are my comments.
More discussion.
Yep.
Mary.
My only question, Kelly, when did plans start getting sent to the engineer? Because I thought that for single-family homes, plans were not reviewed for stormwater runoff. And I know that like driveways and things like that are not reviewed.
Driveways are frequently reviewed by engineering. I can't give you an exact date when that started. Perhaps with the new ordinance.
I know of the driveway issue over in Ward 1. Know of other issues that people have brought to city council. So that's why I was curious.
Not always, but often.
And I think that's the concern, is not knowing when, and I appreciate the extra effort sending them over now.
Yes.
That's good to know.
And Kelly, you said that planning commission would like this to move forward to us and for us to.
It was recommended by the planning commission.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I think we're ready for a vote. Let's do a roll call, please.
Flack?
Yes.
Hasley,
No.
Polk,
No.
Arnold,
Yes.
Capps,
Yes.
and Brown.
Yes,
That is 4 yeses and 2 nos. Motion carries.
thank you. Moving on to number 14, the city council will be asked to award the trade partner bid results as recommended by Wolverine Building Group for the four-season pavilion project and authorize staff to execute the necessary documents. Dana. Kate.
Well, we are, this is part and parcel of the pavilion, the four-season pavilion project. We are working with Wolverine Construction, who is our construction manager, and as part of that agreement with Wolverine, we have the opportunity to just review their subs, and that's what is being provided here today. Correct, Dana?
Yeah, I'll just add to that.
So these are the trade partner bid results that Wolverine, our construction management company, bid out competitively among different vendors for those different categories you see in the agenda. Our agreement, the city's agreement, will be with Wolverine as the construction manager, and then they ultimately contract with these subcontractors. Our agreement's still being drafted. It's in attorney review, and we're doing some back and forth with Wolverine Building Group right now. There's part of that that allows us to object to any of their subcontractor awards, and so part of the reason for bringing this to council is, one, to show transparency and competitive bidding for these, but also to show Wolverine that, you know, we're not going to try and object as we move on, get our agreement. Because as Kate mentioned, we are trying to thread the needle with, as soon as the ice rink can be taken down, we'd like to get the project in. The contractors are hopeful that that can be done, and Kate was right, it was by June 15th. If they don't finish all the work by June 15th, they can't work again until after August 15th. So they would like to get all the work done, so everybody's been pushing forward in the hopes that, you know, the weather will break and cooperate, and we'll be able to hit that first initial construction window. So bringing this to council now helps streamline things before we finalize our agreement with Wolverine.
Is there a motion for this?
I move to award the trade partner bid results as recommended by Wolverine Building Group for the Four Season Pavilion project and authorize staff to execute the necessary documents.
Second.
Any discussion? Or questions for Dana?
Mayor. Hey, Dana, I just, thank you for sharing all the bid information. First of all, I appreciate that. And I noticed you put in here post-bid interviews are complete, especially on the big ticket items. So that means you sat with these bidders, especially if they're a low bidder, by a wide margin to verify that they're meeting the specification, your bid package correct, and that we have confidence that they're going to be able to deliver at that low bid price.
Yeah, we've been impressed by Wolverine and their process as we've gone through this with them. I didn't personally sit in on these, but the city engineer did, and our purchasing agent who's helping manage the project. So we did have staff sitting in on the majority of the post-bid interviews and have a comfort level with the process.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Are you ready to vote? Moving on. All in favor say yes.
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 Opposed? The motion passes. Thank you. Number 15, the city council will be asked to approve the creation of a new full-time electric distribution engineer 1/2 position within the Department of Public Works and authorize staff to recruit and hire for the position. Kate.
Well, it's been apparent to us that the longstanding electrical engineering company that we've been using, Verdantis, is now morphing into not doing municipal circuitry and design. So we've been looking around for other avenues to assist us with electrical engineering. It doesn't appear to be that many options, so we've decided to cast our net widely and see if there's any electrical engineers that may fulfill our needs and bring them in-house. Dana?
Yeah, and just to add to that, you know, they say all management is change management, and that's certainly true with the support that we have for various departments. And, you know, we were saddened that our relationship with our longtime consultant has kind of been changing over time. They had a few retirements and some key people left the company. It's been a really great relationship. They've been great to work with. But we kind of found ourselves at an impasse where we can either continue to work with some of the new folks that are there that aren't real familiar with our system. We did look around for other consulting firms to work with, but in the electrical world, they're just more few and far between than, say, in the utility world or the civil world, because a lot of the utilities in the state are run by you know, the Consumers Energies or the DTEs of the world that have their own staff. So the market for supporting a municipal company just isn't there as much. So we concluded that a best result will be to, you know, some of our projects we will continue to work with Verdantis on that are in process. We're talking with a few other consultants on some bigger system studies, those types of projects. But by and large, our day-to-day, week-to-week support, when we could just pick up the phone and get answers that we need, that's starting to go away. And so we think replacing that with an in-house service will be our best option. And we've seen a lot of success with bringing on a part-time senior level engineer, made a lot of good strides with that. So we're hoping to grow on that with bringing in more of a junior level, entry level type person.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the creation of a full-time electric distribution engineer?
I motion to approve the creation of a full-time electric distribution engineer 1-2 position within the Department of Public Works and authorize the staff to recruit and hire for the position.
I support.
Any discussion or questions?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. I'm sure people want to know, we certainly paid someone as a consultant. What's the difference of hiring a full-time engineer to come in here dollar-wise?
Yeah, so we're anticipating the cost range for this position, salary-wise, would be around 60 to 70,000. Our true cost is a little bit more than that, around 115,000 by the time, you support a staff member. But certainly, we think there'll be savings over time, with not having to call someone day to day. Plus, we're in a situation where our day-to-day calls and needs aren't really being met. So, we want to continue providing services to the community. New service requests, extensions, development reviews, pole attachment reviews, those types of activities. So right now we're experiencing quite a delay in getting back with folks on that because of our kind of lack of ability to respond. So we're hoping to bring somebody on board relatively quickly to do that. So.
And I agree. I think stability and reliability are key traits. We need to have that.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor say yes.
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 Opposed? The motion passes. Number 16, the City Council will be asked to receive an update from Department of Public Works Director Dana Bird.
Yeah, well, thank you. And it's nice to see new faces up here. And this is my first council meeting with the new council, so welcome to all the new members and returning members. So obviously, January, we all lived through it here in the community. It was pretty snowy. We had an above-average snowfall, and our crews have been plowing, and when they're not plowing, they've been hauling snow. So it is a constant effort on our part. People have been putting a lot of long hours, and the folks in the community have been really, I think, appreciative of that. We've heard some good positive feedback. So we're looking forward to maybe a little less snowy February and a little break from that. But that's been a big activity for us in January. Kind of with the extreme cold spell we had quite a few water main breaks. Even since the time that I sent this update to Kate, we had one more. So this season we've had 5 now. Just on Saturday we had one over on Ravinia. So I want to shout out to our crews, our water sewer crews who are out there in all kinds of weather, getting wet and repairing those water mains to keep them going. We do have some exciting news about a program we're launching in Public Works for the electric utility. It's our energy waste reduction program. If you folks remember, we established a rate for this. This is a required program that the state of Michigan now has us do as a municipal utility. We are working with a third-party partner called Franklin Energy. And it's a rebate program. So for energy efficiency, it'll cover things like if someone is doing a home heating project for insulation, windows, weather stripping, they can apply to this program, work with Franklin Energy, see what's eligible, and get some rebates for that work. So it's making energy efficiency improvements more affordable for folks in the community. There's different levels, commercial and business levels. There's residential levels, and then there's income qualified levels. So we're going to be sharing a lot more information about this program. It'll be going out on our front page of the city's website. It'll be on Facebook, and we're really encouraging people to start contacting Franklin Energy with any kind of energy saving type project they may be doing. This even could be things like upgrading your smart thermostat, buying an energy efficient refrigerator or freezer, a furnace, hot water heater, those types of things. So there's a lot of ways people can qualify for that, and we really want to get the word out. We just had meetings with Franklin Energy last week, and they're ready to really launch this program. So expect to hear a lot more about that in the month of February, and then we'll be sending out almost monthly updates encouraging people to be part of that program. Few more updates. We also, you know, in the next big thaw we have, we're expecting to be out there patching potholes. So as people are driving around and the snow's melting, if you do see a large pothole, please contact our department because we do want to get on top of those as they appear and try and Band-Aid them until we can get out there and hot patch them in the summer. Some other things we're working on, we're well into our planning for the streets millage. We expect to bring some more information at council this spring on that. With what the proposal would be and what the plan would be for the first few years of road improvements as part of that. We're anticipating that could be on the ballot as early as this fall. So that's something we've been doing a lot of time and attention for and planning, and we're excited to share it with everyone else when it's ready in another month or so. Another road-related news, we received a $375,000 grant from MDOT for Kalamazoo Street reconstruction. So our in-house engineering group is doing a lot of work on that. So that'll be underway this summer. And it's a joint project with Van Buren County Road Commission. So the Road Commission was able to get some grant funding, and we were able to line up some grant funding and do the project as one combined effort. We also received our bridge report for the Dykeman Bridge. Everything on the bridge is in good to fair condition. We don't expect any issues operating it. But they did make quite a few recommendations over the next 5 years. So we're starting to try and pursue grant funding for some of those opportunities to help offset the cost of that. On the Shasta side of things, I did want to share with folks, we did have a water system violation recently. Kind of came about because of an error in some sampling and reporting that we just didn't submit to the state on time. It wasn't an emergency and there wasn't any reason for folks to boil water, but we are required to send out a notice to folks. So all of our water customers are going to be getting a notice with their February bill that kind of talks a little bit more about it. And some of those notices have to require language from the state that talks about different items in there. So if folks have any questions or concerns about that, we're happy to talk to them and try and explain what went on and what the risks are and that kind of thing. And lastly, I had just an update on our water service line replacement project. So Five Star Energy Services has been working on that. We've replaced about 500 lines to date that had some component of lead in them. So that's really good news. And they're continuing to work throughout winter. And we are going to start potentially sending some notices out to folks who just we haven't been able to communicate with. We tried door hangers, we tried contacting people in various ways. But we are going to be sending some formal notices out to the billing addresses of some folks because we do need to schedule to get an inspection or to go in and do a replacement. So we're looking at potentially some shut-off notices this spring if we don't hear back from people after the first or second notice. So we do appreciate when the community reaches out to us. You see those door hangers. They're either left by Five Star, or you can always call our staff if you're wondering, who are these Five Star guys going around town. We're happy to come out there and meet with you, explain what's going on. So encourage people to call us about that. So that's what I had for update.
Thank you. Councilman Polk.
Yes, sir. I have a question. What is the, and it's all because of my ignorance, so what's the root cause of these water main bursts?
Oh, our water main breaks we have with cold weather? I think a lot of them, we have a lot of old water main that's cast iron. Cast iron gets brittle over time. So there's a few breaks there. We have some 2-bolt water main in the system. So a lot of the older main only may be connected by 2 bolts. So there's not a lot of redundancy in that connection. So if one bolt over time becomes loose or there's an issue there, it can leak fairly easily. We also have quite a few shallow water mains in this community. Some of our water main is only 3 feet deep in places. And so the freeze-thaw cycle with temperatures, that frost level will go down and get to those ones. So we have breaks.
Is this something that we just take care of as it occurs, or is there something we're doing proactively?
Yeah, I mean, we get out there and we try and stop the leak and get it flowing again without too much impact to the community. But until we replace the old lines or until we have a road project, that's really the time that we try and deal with all the utilities underneath that.
So, thank you.
Councilmember Hosley.
Yeah, kind of piggyback. Do we have a list of a map of our water mains and age and replacement?
Yeah, we do. As part of our work with the state of Michigan, We do a plan every 5 years. We do a reliability plan, and then we do an asset management plan. And the purpose of those are to really get us think long-term, really encourage us to line up water main replacements with road projects or other utility projects. But, that we couldn't replace all the old water main in town. It's got to happen over several decades. And so we've been trying to do that as we do a road project. Like on Huron Street, we replaced a section of water main there. On Kalamazoo Street, the project in planning, we're going to be doing some water main replacement there. So we certainly have some idea of the age. We also look at where we have frequent breaks that might move that area up as a priority. So we are constantly looking at that, but as with all things, it's resource driven. So we try and time it to be most cost effective for folks.
And the other question, really more of a comment. So you were saying you're going to be sending these notices for the line replacements to billing addresses, and if the billing address is the local address and it's winter and we have a lot of snowbirds, how is that being handled so they don't come back to a shut-off notice because they're gone for a couple months?
Yeah, so our assumption is that wherever folks receive their bill, they're still going to receive their monthly utility bill, and they're still paying that utility bill. So if we can communicate with them along that same channel, we're hopeful that, a warning to say, hey, you really need to contact us, will get their attention. So, because people are still paying their bill year-round.
Right, but are they not able to do that online without the actual physical bill?
Yeah, I'll have to look into that, but I think
That's
we
my
can
concern.
communicate some way with email. But.
That might be a safer bet. I'm just concerned, especially during these colder months, that some people are just gone for a couple months, and the standard process may not be as efficient to reach them, especially if the end result or the next step is a shut-off notice. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have one for Kate.
I have one for Dana.
What?
I just had a quick comment for Dana. The Five Star guys worked on my house the week before. They did a great job, quick in and out. They were friendly and nice. And so if you want to pass that along, they did a nice job at my house.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dan, I was just going to say thank you. Watching these folks repair these water mains in that cold, I was getting cold watching it. It was amazing what they do. And the plowing as well. Thank you all for you and your team and all you've done. And only 6 pages of objectives upcoming, so that was a good summary. 6 pages worth. A lot of work going on, so thank you.
Thanks.
Councilman Polk, did you have something else to say?
I have something for our city manager. Kate, on this electrical distribution engineer?
Yes.
I know we have 2 job descriptions there,
Yes,
and you said we're going to cast our net wide.
yes.
How far, what are we looking
I
at?
think we're looking to see who's going to apply. As Dana mentioned, we're looking for an entry level, but again, if something or someone really special comes along, I think that's where we're trying to give ourselves some flexibility. Is that correct, Dana?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that because reliability, and stability seemed like dealing with a consultant. Is that what we had before, a consultant? That seems rather unstable, and you said that relationship has been declining over a period of time. We want to get ourselves in a position where we don't have to do that.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that this is the right way to go. And I'm sure you'll find the best of the best out there.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's nothing else. We're moving on to public comment. Citizens in the audience will be heard on items not on the agenda, and you have up to 5 minutes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jet Newton. I live at 2860 Cleveland Avenue, apartment 339 in the city of St. Joseph. I am here tonight because I am an independent running to represent South Haven in the 38th Michigan House District. I just wanted to take a moment to introduce one of my planks that I think will heavily impact the city of South Haven, and I know that the council cannot respond right now, but I would like to, in the future, get comment on this particular plank. It is a proposal to replace property taxes on primary residences with a 1.5% wealth tax on net worths above $10 million. That is a marginal wealth tax, so it will only apply to liquid assets that contribute to a net worth that is over $10 million. So the primary, changing the way the the funding for the City Works is going to drastically reduce the local tax base. What I'm imagining right now is that the state will backfill the cities at the current rate of revenue. I've been going around the district talking to various municipal governments to see what a nice off-ramp for those commitments look like, so that the transition goes smoothly from the current property tax-based system, which will still persist in a way with commercial installations still being under property tax. But I want to make sure that there's a decent transition that doesn't put you guys in a position that's tough for your budget. So just looking to touch base in the future with you guys and get some opinions on that, but that's all for me.
Thank you.
Aaron Cobb, 914 Center Street. I just have a question, I guess it's a question, about the trash ordinance. Bringing your trash container back after the garbage pickup on Wednesday, our area pickup on Wednesday, and Thursday morning by 8 o'clock, Rick be riding, and if it's out there, you take a picture, you get a warning. I guess after a couple of times you get a ticket. My concern is, for years it wasn't like that, but I know everything changed. My concern is, we older people, when there's a lot of snow, they pick up on Wednesday, and my residents, I don't feel I should have a property manager for my resident. And with a lot of snow, I cannot get out there and get that garbage can back. And my grandkids, they usually take it back for me, but if they don't come that night, 8 o'clock that morning, get a picture, I'm gonna get a warning. I would ask that instead of 8 o'clock Thursday morning, make it to 8 o'clock Friday morning. Give us a little bit more, especially in the winter month, because I cannot get out there in that store and pull that garbage can back if they don't come. And I'm not asking no special favor, and a lot of other people feel the same way I do. They just haven't approached you all. But, I would then say, especially winter months, Friday morning instead of Thursday morning. If it's not back, then we get give us a little bit more time, especially winter months. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Will Zinzer. I'm here representing the King Company for the rezoning application. I just want to say thank you guys for taking the time to consider the application. And about the floodplain, I know that's kind of...
Actually, this is a time to talk about items not on the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
That's
apologize.
okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Kent Brindley, 345 Bailey Avenue. First of all, thank you to the Department of Public Works for all of the work that you're doing on the water mains and on keeping the sidewalks and the streets clear in the winter. Secondly, we had a great icebreaker weekend. Thank you to all of the hospitality, tourism, management, our hotels, restaurants, shops. Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce and to the Visitors Bureau for everything they helped do, and to our police department for the added security during icebreaker. Thirdly, we've all heard by now last night what happened last evening on the beach. Huge shout out to Shays for everything that they do to keep the community safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Moving on to city manager's comments.
Thank you, Mayor. I did provide a written update on our lifeguard program. I'm happy to report that we have organized a multi-factor team to break down this effort here. And we have conducted interviews, and a job offer has been extended and accepted for a full-time year-round beach safety manager, chief lifeguard. I'm not able to share the person's name at this time because we're still doing pre-employment screening and things like that. So at this time, it's not appropriate for me to share the name. We are hoping that this person will be able to start on February 28th when we are having our seasonal job fair. I did go through and update all the things that we have undertaken. I do know that we are, city staff are bringing a funding mechanism, or at least funding options to the council in the next coming months. I do want to assure the council that we do have money in the fund balance for the program right now. What we're looking at is what's going to help us maintain that fund balance, not just for the operation of the program, but of course our capital improvements that are due on that beach. We do need a number of things out on the beach that would be covered by the Beach Enterprise Fund. Moving on, I've been reminded by Chief DeBoer to remind folks, lock your cars. We do have a number of folks out there who are taking advantage of the cold weather, thinking, no, who's going to be out here in this cold weather? There are those people. So lock your cars. The other thing I do want to make people aware is that in early January, we let folks know that we are receiving a number of scammer emails that are taking advantage of the city's logo and calling it either from the Planning and Zoning Department or special events. We have a press release out there. We do have a Facebook story, and then we also have it up on our website. We can recirculate that to get that out. I was just notified that some other folks in the community have also received this scammer email. Just be aware that this is out there. Look at your stuff. And if you have any doubts, give us a call, 637-0700. We can help you out and figure out if this is a scam. I do want to also remind the council and anybody else who's interested, next Monday we do have our strategic planning and priority setting process with County Administrator Al Vandenberg. So that'll be February 9th at 5 p.m. at the North Marina Clubhouse. I too want to give kudos to city staff. I've just been remarked and admire the amount of work that we've been doing. The city streets have been fantastically cleared. I know that some people may not always like which streets get done first, but we're definitely out there. We're doing our sidewalks, we're clearing things, and I can't tell you about the gargantuan effort that it was taking to get the city ready for Icebreaker. I do give kudos to the chamber staff and everybody else who helped. There's lots of volunteers who assisted with that. As we talked at our special meeting today, we're looking at starting committees of the whole with this group. I'm planning on 5:30s on the first Monday of the month, so I'll be setting out a schedule with those dates so we can have that on our calendars so we can get that planned. Lastly, I did want to give an update on the Van Buren Senior Services Housing Project with the Project Samaritas. My understanding is that they scored very highly, but only 2 projects were funded, and they were the 3rd project. They missed out on getting funding by 5 points. So we're trying to assist them with kind of plugging the gaps for the next round. However, that does mean that they are likely to be in competition with our own Overton project. Either way, if one of those projects gets funded, that's a win for the community, but that is a disappointment that that project missed out so very closely. Those are my comments.
We have 5 minutes if anyone has questions for Kate.
I do.
Go ahead.
Kate, I was thinking about Reverend Cobb's comments. Doesn't Waste Management offer some assistance for seniors getting those trash cans back?
I believe so. I will have customer service reach out and try to make that connection. I do know that Rick does start his rounds, but usually around 9 o'clock. And I know that he has also been making note of homes that have not even taken an attempt at cleaning their sidewalks. That is something that we hear a lot about, is that, if you're making an attempt, that's one thing, but some folks have not even made an attempt to clear their sidewalks, and that's something he looks for.
Okay. And then the other one, Mr. Brindley's comment, and Dana maybe can speak to this too. The city's cleaning the sidewalks, and then oftentimes people's yards get torn up a little bit, but first off, we fix it.
We do, and I wouldn't say first on. We definitely try to get out there as soon as spring, because we do know that restoration is needed. I know that our new streets superintendent, Aaron Preeb, we've been looking at ways to maybe mitigate some of that damage, but frankly, some of our equipment does take a beating because we do have uneven sidewalks, so we've gone through a couple plows just this year. So that restoration is part of the work that we do in the spring.
Part of the plan. Okay, those are my questions.
Mary.
I wasn't until you had questions. So should people call DPW with regard to yards that need to be fixed or other issues from?
I would definitely say so. The 637-0737 number is the general line for Public Works, and we can start a list. Just know that we're probably not going to be doing anything until we're well into, we're not freezing anymore, I guess should be
Right.
said.
And the other thing, So when the plows do go through, there are sometimes a lot of snow piled into the road because when they get to the opening, it just goes to the side. Call DPW again for that.
I'm sorry.
When the sidewalk plow goes through, sometimes when it goes across the street, if it has a bunch of snow, it falls into the road and then it makes that intersection a bit choppy.
I mean, we can always take a call, whether or not we're able to get back to it.
Right. No,
Just depends, but yeah, we'd rather know.
And then there was a resident who had inquired about the city shoveling, sidewalk shoveling, on which side of the street. Were you able to resolve that? What's the status?
As the city has, there are certain roads that we will clear the sidewalks, and a lot of it is tied to safe routes to school plus just the general traffic. But we do not do both sides of the road. Where we do have a sidewalk plowing map on our website, and you can see which roads we do plow. And like I said, and there's a caveat on there that when you do get your road or your sidewalk plow, that's gravy, right? That's a little extra. Every homeowner and every property owner is incumbent upon getting those sidewalks cleared. If the city's able to get out there, that's great, but our first responsibility is get the roads done. So that has to be on the homeowner, that if we're not out there because we've just had too much snow like we've had this last month, those sidewalks are going to be incumbent upon the homeowner.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
Mayor. Kate, I just want to say I'm excited about the lifeguard program and just to see where it goes. If we can build a culture of that here, maybe others follow. We'll see what happens, but I'm proud of us. I want to thank you personally and Chief DeBoer and Brandon Hintz as well for the work that I know you all are doing. This is literally like another job, and I know that all three of you have a lot going on, and you're taking care of this as well as your day job. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for that. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you giving that thanks. I would definitely want to highlight the work of Kim Wise. She has been a rock star heading up this, and I got to lay a lot of the kudos at her feet. So thank you.
Thanks for that reminder. Yep.
It's now time for mayor and councilperson's comments, and we will start with Mr. Capps.
Kind of a repeat of some people, so I'll make it quick. One, Icebreakers was great. Kudos to the chamber, the events. I participated myself and saw a lot of people going into stores and spending money with the retailers. So some of that doesn't happen always, but I think we had great weather and that was good. And also to Dana, it's one thing for us guys to say, great job fixing the water mains, but I had several people in my ward just come up to me and said, hey, those guys did a great job on Lion Street. They were out there till midnight working, and we really appreciated it. So,
Mr. Flack.
Mayor, thank you. And I have to hit on it too, Icebreakers. The weather, I mean, the town was just popping over the weekend. And I got to see a lot of the fish fling, which was awesome. And then the cardboard race, which we did the rotary cardboard sled, and I'm biased, but I thought we were the best sled out there. And we had a great team. So just an awesome time by all. It was great to have some snow and just see the bright sunshine and see our town look so great and have so many visitors. So thanks to all who did that, Chamber of Commerce especially. And then my last comment is Punxsutawney Phil emerged today from his burrow at Gobbler's Knob, and he did see his shadow. So unfortunately, we've got 6 more weeks of this to go, y'all. Thank you.
He's in my crock pot.
Does that help?
Councilmember Hosley.
Yes, so Planning Commission had a very nice meeting last week, special meeting to go over the master plan. I think we hopefully gave staff good comments to come back to us. So we're looking forward to that. This coming Thursday, we'll have the Overton site plan and also zoning amendment up for discussion as short-term rental and projecting and hanging signs. Also kudos for the Icebreaker and the 5K run and all the people involved with that, and especially the plows and Shays. South Haven Police Department were out there. Thank you for that safety. Tomorrow, February 3rd, 1 p.m., the Scott Club is having their 2026 Century of Black History commemorations by the Black History Leadership Society. It is at the First Congregational Church because of the construction at the Scott Club. February 4th, Van Buren Tech is having their career fair for their students, and our beloved Shays will be there, so looking forward to them. connecting with local students, and also students can learn more about Van Buren Tech through their counselors. They can start learning more about that in their sophomore year to go junior and senior years. February 11th is a Coffee Connections with the, she's no longer new, the school superintendent at We Coffee. They're asking you to RSVP. You can get to that through the South Haven Public School website. Liberty High Bailey Museum has their Lantern Walk rescheduled to February 6th. Busy week. And last but not least, please stay off the ice. We need to protect. Shays will come and get you, but we need to protect Shays, and we need you to protect yourself. And despite the accident yesterday, people are still going out there. Please don't. It's for your own safety. We want you to be safe. We want you to come back. Thank you.
Councilman Polk.
Yes, I'm going to echo some of the things that already been said. Dana, I highly compliment you and your organization for these challenges that you face with these winter conditions, because I saw some of the work in progress. I was chilled to the bone, and I felt sorry for them. I would have jumped out and helped, but I'm not qualified. Okay? So, and also to the council, totally this experience. I compliment all of you. I really feel confident that we're off to the right start, a good start. The synergy, the understanding and shared and respect for each other's point of view. I think that's very important to us being successful and effective as a council. So I highly encourage that, and if I ever get out of line, smack me, do whatever you have to do. Said, Eddie, you said, remember what you said, throw that back at me. And Kate, my compliments to you as well as our city manager. I have nothing but high regard for your leadership, your insight, and being sensitive to our needs as well. So I feel that you deserve that. And as you, as our mayor, I compliment you the same, Annie, and I thank you.
Thank
so my
you.
compliments to the council as a whole.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you guys just tolerate me, but that's okay. Thank you. My compliments to the council as a whole.
Councilman Arnold.
No comments.
My comments are just thank you to Brandy Key and Olivia Thompson at the chamber. They did an amazing job, and they started at 5 o'clock in the morning, and when they were giving out awards at 6 o'clock at the American Legion, they didn't even act exhausted. So they did a fantastic job, and it was definitely part of our economic engine for this month. So I'm really grateful to them, and I want to echo what Mr. Polk said about Kate. Thank you. I mean, you can keep our machine running like a well-oiled machine, even when things are freezing in January. So thank you so much. You're amazing. If there's no other business, we're adjourned.